Hello everyone and welcome back to another True Unscripted Puro video, and today we have another episode of the Rising Sun Renaissance, as today we have our first ever show with New Japan Pro Wrestling, New Japan Soul Night 6. Very excited to see how this one will play out, but before we get into it, I do have a ton of notes to get through, so please bear with me. So, in between episodes, all of these have happened. New Japan now has a talent trading deal with Major League Wrestling, and Major League Wrestling are now accepting excursions. Melbourne Championship Wrestling are now accepting excursions as well. I would have added them to the Forbidden Door Alliance, but AEW wasn't having it, so didn't add them. New Japan also has a friendly attitude and talent trading agreement with Stardom for some reason. I don't know, just felt like adding that. New Japan also has friendly attitude and talent trading and excursion agreement with Maple Leaf Pro, since they're in the Forbidden Door Alliance. Also, speaking about the Forbidden Door Alliance, I might add a few more companies to that alliance as well. The major ones being Melbourne Championship Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Australia, and The Crash, but I haven't added either of those three yet. Also, for the titles, I fixed the minimum and maximum weight, because before the housekeeping stuff, New Japan's minimum weight requirement was 200. I changed that to 219, but didn't change the titles until just now. And then also, I've inducted a ton of people into the New Japan Hall of Fame. Tiger Mask 4, Tiger Mask 1, Hiroyoshi Tenzan, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Jushin Liger, Manabu Nakanishi, Takashi Iizuka, Junji Hirata, Keiji Muto, Kensuke Sasaki, Masahiro Chono, Choten, Tiger Hattori, Kazuo Yamazaki, Milano Collection AT, and Wataru Inoue. Also, I've raised the music production to license so it can broadcast on TV Asahi. And then TV Asahi are now broadcasting tour highlights, so that's going to be fun. And then on to chemistry, because we've had a few chemistry things, and I just want to go through them more quickly. Our commentary team, Shinpei Nogami and Milano Collection AT, have good chemistry together, which is good. We don't need to fire anyone. And then Yuto Ice and Gedo are a good pairing, so Gedo is now Yuto's manager. Ren Narita and Dick Togo are also a good pairing, so Dick Togo is now Ren Narita's manager. Also, on the topic of House of Torture, Dick Togo and Sho have great chemistry teaming together, so rest in peace, Lost Scoridad? We'll have to wait and see, but could be a possibility. And then Sonata has been getting penalized due to being in extremely poor form, aka he's in a funk right now. I might remove it off of him, but I don't know. And then last but certainly not least, Shota Umino is irritated at us because he had a failed creative idea. He pitched it to us, and I immediately used it, and it bombed. So, he's a little upset. But onto the show. So, our match card tonight from bottom to top. You have El Desperado, Masatori Yasuda, Taichi, and Yuya Uemura taking on La Oscuridad, Ren Narita, and Sonata. After that, you have Aaron Wolf, Hiroki Goto, Oleg Bolin, and Tatsuya Matsumoto taking on Yuto Ice, Daiki Nagai, Shingo Takagi, and Yota Tsuji. After that, you have a three-way tag match between Jado and Kushida, Dick Togo and Yoshinobu Kimaru, and Gedo and Taiji Shimori. After that, you have your first of two play-in matches for the G1, as Oscar takes on Yujiro Takahashi. Afterwards, you have your second play-in match as El Fantasmo takes on Ryuhei Oiwa. Your co-main event, you have Shota Umino taking on Gabe Kidd for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. Then your main event, you have Yo defending his title against Francesco Akira. Will Yo get his first defense, or will Akira end the reign? We'll have to wait and see. But before we can get into the show, we have to prepare, give the night off, no select venue or location. As I said last episode, we are going Korakuen Hall for this one. Dang, 11K? Oh my god. I'll stick with Korakuen Hall though. Choose broadcasters. We're going to broadcast on Eurosport and New Japan World. Yeah, I think that's good. Use selection. Booking team meeting. Let's see. Tanahashi has terrible booking chemistry with Gedo. Okay. And it's 25% penalty. Ugh. I'm gonna have to write that one down. Gedo might be booted. I'm not gonna spend creative energy. I don't see the need in using it this show. This show and the G1 are basically gonna be me feeling out the roster, because you kind of have to break in the database when you first use it. So, locker room incidents. Takaaki Kidani was brought before the wrestler's court and was found guilty and was sentenced to pay for his travel partner's meal. Good to know. Yuji Nagata has taken Tatsuya Matsumoto under his wing. Oh my god, that helps me so much. Hold on. I gotta write that one down. I was writing down ideas for the save earlier. That helps me so much. Oh, I was on the fence. Now I'm on board. Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy with that. Yes! That is what we needed. Nagata's been passing on tips on using psychology to his protege, Gedo Khan. Yuji Nagata's been passing on tips on microphone work to his protege, Aaron Wolf. Nagata's been passing on tips on microphone work to his protege, Tatsuya Matsumoto. Junji Arata ran pre-show training skills to work on basics and safety for 5 students. Mainly our Young Lions and Aaron Wolf. Oscar helped create a great atmosphere backstage when he pulled a great rib on the entire locker room that had everyone laughing afterwards. And that is all. I'm thinking we inspire. Yeah. Okay. Our entire locker room is now fired up and buzzing with anticipation. Love to see it. Whew. Let's see our absent workers. Just Newman and Ishii. Oh, I'm so happy with that now. Oh. I'm gonna get on to pre-booking New Japan Soul Night 6. And I'll be right back. And on it to New Japan Soul Night 6. We start the show off with a decent match as the House of Torture's Daoki Sho, Ren Narita, and Sonata defeats El Desperado, Masato Yasuda, and Just Two Guys. Decent match. The crowd is already getting hot for this one. Love to see it. Masato Yasuda was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performance. Not surprising. He did a 31, which is great to see. Afterwards, in your next preliminary tag match, you have Unbound Company defeating Aaron Wolf, Oleg Bolin, Hiroki Goto, and Tatsuya Matsumoto. Decent match once again. Tatsuya Matsumoto was the weak link here. doing a 23. Oh, like Bullen was really off his game. Oh well. Shingo Takagi and Gedo were an awkward pairing. They have no chemistry whatsoever. I will take note of that. Decent match. Love to see it. 72 rating. Very surprised by that. Yudo Ice with a 73. Oh my god. Was it just amazing form? Oh my fucking god. Holy shit. Wow. He has a ton of bonuses. Shingo, I'm not surprised by. Yoda, not surprised by. Gedo, not surprised by. Yudo Ice. Damn. Okay. I see you, Yudo. I see you. Afterwards, in your next match, Gedo and Kushida defeat House of Torture's Dick Togo and Yoshinobu Kimaru, and Unbound Company's Gedo and Taishi Ishimori. Decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. Gedo was the weak link, doing a 32. Damn. Gedo and Kushida, the winning team, were really off their game here. Gedo and Taishi Ishimori have great chemistry. Love to see that. 61 rating. I mean, I would have liked for Ishimori and Kushida to have done a little better, but considering everyone involved, I think this was the best rating we could have gotten. But on to our important matches of the night. First, your G1 play-in matches. First, for B Block. Who is going to be the final entry in the B Block of this year's G1 Climax? It is Oscar! Okay. In a decent match, Oscar defeats Yujiro Takahashi following a leg drop. Oscar with a 62. Love to see it. Afterwards, for the final spot in this year's G1 Climax, this time for A Block, Ryuhei Oiwa defeats El Fantasmo in a decent match. 77 rating. Love to see it. Oh, so it was just everyone involved. Love to see it. 77 rating. Man. And the highest was El Fantasma with a 65. I hate to say it, they kind of got carried with everyone around them. But afterwards, the lights in the arena go out as a hype video plays, announcing several major events taking place in New Japan soon, including New Japan Royal Quest 5 taking place on August 23rd, New Japan and Stardom's Historic X-Over 4 taking place October 4th, the Super J Cup Tour taking place from November 8th to November 14th. 2 days later, you have New Japan and CMLL Lucha Kingdom taking place on November 16th. And last but certainly not least, you have New Japan and AEW Wrestle Dynasty taking place January 5th, most likely at the Tokyo Dome. But I'm going to break kayfabe here. The main reason why I did most of these events, because if you remember last episode, I said I got rid of Fantastica Mania because it was basically majorly CMLL. The reason why I'm doing these, originally it was going to be all 4. Because I don't have the Lucha Kingdom logo while I was setting things up, I was like, do I want to rename that? Originally, I was thinking of renaming it to Fantastica Mania, but then my mind kind of spiraled, and it was like, well, if I do that, then I'd have to bring in Forbidden Door, but Forbidden Door this year was basically an AEW pay-per-view with a few outsiders. So I came up with this premise that basically for most of my partnership shows, my rule of thumb has to be that the other company gets a show. They get a show, we get a show. Because I doubt the AI realizes that AEW x NJPW Forbidden Door actually means AEW and New Japan. It's under AEW, so it thinks, oh, AEW show. When in reality, it's cross-promotional show. So this is kind of my counter to that. Obviously, we will have talent from these promotions. I was also thinking of having Royal Quest be New Japan and Rev Pro. I mean, I guess it's basically that, but yeah. I'm still gonna just call it New Japan Royal Quest, but spoiler alert, it will have Rev Pro wrestlers. I already have some of them written down. So, and another reason why I'm doing this is because it allows me to scout talent. So, especially with Royal Quest and Lucha Kingdom, kind of with Wrestle Dynasty as well, but not really. It allows me to scout talent for future tournaments. So if I book who's on Rev Pro? Kid Lycos. If I book Kid Lycos and he does amazing, then I might consider him for Super Junior Tag League or the Super J Cup. So it all works out in my head. I like to think it'll work out that way. Who knows? But enough talking about our shows. Back to New Japan Soul Night 6, your co-main event for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. Shota Umino defeats Gabe Kidd via pinfall. Good heat, decent wrestling. Shota Umino makes defense number 2 of the Global Heavyweight Championship. Would have liked Umino to have done a little bit better, but it's whatever. Afterwards, Umino grabs a microphone and he celebrates his win and thanks the New Japan audience for supporting him over the past near decade, even when his future started to look bleak in New Japan. Umino says that he never gave up trying and the audience never gave up on him, so he's going to win this year's G1 Climax as IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion for them. Then, after he wins the G1, he plans to defend his title against any and all members of the Death Riders who want a shot at him, and then take his global title to Wrestle Kingdom 21 and dethrone Yota Tsuji to become the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah, he just threatened you. What are you going to do about it? Shota Umino didn't do well without a script to follow. Oh well. But in your main event for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, defeats Francesco Akira in a decent match. Both men have a great chemistry fighting each other, and it showed in their performances here tonight. Makes defense number 1 of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. 64 rating. Love to see it. Afterwards, grabs a microphone and says that Akira put up a good fight, and had a great performance a few weeks ago during the, quote, Yo Games. But there's one thing that everyone in the junior division needs to understand. This IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship reign for Yo has been over a decade in the making. And now that he has the title, he will not lose the title that quickly. So, Wado, Sho, Fujita, and whoever else wants a shot, come and get it. Because Yo is not going to let go of his title that quickly. And we finished the show with a 71 rating. Okay. Love to see it. I feel like it got brought down a little bit because of this promo, but not mad with it. Increased our popularity in 10 regions. Will have gained popularity in most of the world, but growth was restricted. And the show benefited from having a wide selection of angles. Finished the show. Financial report made almost 200,000. Popularity recap, gained some popularity in Europe, Wales, and India. And that is all. So, that's going to be all for today's episode of the Rising Sun Renaissance. I've been True Unscripted Puro. Next time, we have the start of the G1 Climax. I've been True Unscripted Puro, and I'll see you all next time.